Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Hot Topics in Sales. I'm very excited to be joined today by Joe Yazbeck, who is the creator of the No Fear Speaking System and founder and president at Prestige Leadership Advisors. How are you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great. It's good to be with you here, Andy.
Thanks for coming on with me. I'm going to brag on Joe for a minute here and his company. His book, No Fear Speaking, is an Amazon bestseller, published in 8 languages, and has been internationally acclaimed for 7 years and endorsed by heads of state and leading companies. Joe's company boasts clients like retired military generals to chief technology officers and CEOs of major companies. So kudos for that, Joe.
Thanks. It's been fun.
I bet it has. Absolutely. You and I are going to be talking about some hot topics in sales, along with secrets to success today. So we all know that things have changed pretty dramatically due to COVID-19. And companies have had major adjustments during the last year and a half. In terms of business, what would you say are some of the key challenges facing business development executives right now?
Well, business development is all about creating demand for your product and services. And I know of no better way than whoever is the brand ambassador for that company positioned with their products and services to appear. They got to appear. I call it making an appearance, whether it's online, on camera, live in front of an audience, bring people together, and then learn the system of how to move an audience to want to commit to the next step. And that's the key. When COVID happened, I said to myself, I'm going to have to 10X my business development. I didn't say, oh boy, we're going to have to cut back. Oh boy, I didn't go into agreement with it. What I did as I start using 3 words with people: defy the limitations, defy them. And you have everything under your belt, under your head, in your heart to communicate more than ever appear. You know what I did? I started really fortifying, mastering virtual conferencing as subjects and curriculum that the executives can now connect with and learn from. People were needing it. And I started promoting it, and I promoted it online.
Right. Absolutely.
If you have a fear of public speaking, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Overcome that fear of public speaking so that you're comfortable commanding an audience online. You're going to have far more opportunities with qualified prospects coming to you than ever before. And one last thing is, as a speaker, you become somebody people want to talk to, particularly if you're good. You see, you're doing it right now. You're speaking, you're using podcasting as a tool for business development, which I think is awesome. You see, but everybody in their company needs to learn. In fact, honestly, one last point, I advocate and urge my clients to put a media room together, set up a camera, and go in there and post content on video. And send it out to LinkedIn, send it out to places where, good content, you're not necessarily trying to sell. You're not necessarily trying to look like you are a salesperson. You're giving them value. You're providing value, providing content that people love and what they need to hear. You become a trusted advisor what they want to connect to. That's the key.
100% agree. Podcasting has been awesome for us. I think I've recorded 76 sessions since December, and we get about 25,000 playbacks a month. And it's been a really awesome business development tool for us, And like you said, I totally agree. Lead with value, valuable content, right? And next thing you know, people will be getting a hold of you, to be on their shows, to talk to them about their business challenges and so forth. So I totally agree with that. In terms of success, what are a couple of key things people involved in business development should know these days?
They should know who their audience is. They need to know what's called in marketing their avatar. An avatar is their ideal client. Don't second guess. Do your homework. Find out who is coming to you. If you're just starting out, then find people that you're interested in wanting to serve. Number 1, there's 3 connections. I'm going to give you the 3. These are 3 essential connections, right? The correct message on the correct channel to the correct audience. And you have to be able to make sure that you have the right message You've got to know your audience to make sure that the channel that you're using is going to reach them. You see, it's much like this. It's like, we were talking about fishing before the call here, right?
Right.
Well, where are your clients? What lake are they fishing? Are they swimming in? So, okay, let me go to this lake. Let me cast out the hook and bring a fish in. It's hook, story, offer. Okay, that's marketing. So you've got to know where you're going to get the message out there. I'm telling you, people think because other people like where they're going, or they like the message, or they like the design, where all these other people, your clients, are they client prospects, or are they friends of your family telling you, I like that? Don't listen to anyone else but what your potential clients are telling you. And you guys who are, and gals who are in business already, look at your invoices. Your invoices will tell you who's buying from you. Honestly, that's probably your best. And if you're selling, and if you're finding out what the hot buttons are, what people want to solve as problems, they'll tell you. What are they? I didn't have to do I didn't have to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars with market research. I did it myself in the early days of my company, where I asked people questions, like, what's stopping you right now from achieving your goals? Ask some smart questions, for God's sakes. Don't go sitting there like a brochure. People don't want to hear a brochure. No. When you have a person coming to you one-on-one, I got to tell you one thing for sure. When someone sits in front of me, the question that always gets them, and it's the most incredible reaction, tell me what your goals are. And they'll go, wow, that's a hell of a question. Okay? Or they'll go, oh man, I have no, that's a tough, I've been battling that. Tells me something. Or they'll say, I have no idea. Well, if you have no idea where you're going, then why are you doing what you're doing now? You see, because a goal is what drives you, right? And on a phone call and in communication with people, that energy, that vitality, that drive is being fueled by the future. You see, and I say, if you don't have a clear idea of the vision of your future, come talk to me, okay? I mean that. It's not a sales pitch, okay? Because there are some really, really key strings to pull in terms of questions that people will go, oh my God, I remember I wanted to do that. Or they get stuck in their organizations. They forget about the future, and they forget to wear the hat of an owner or a CEO. They're not wearing that hat anymore. They're wearing the hat of a technician, or somebody who delivers the product, or somebody who sells the product. They forgot. I have many clients that boom their companies because they dropped that hat and they lost sight of where they're going. It's major advice. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've had great success with LinkedIn, trying different things, and we lead with value and questions. And our call script is all about the other person. And if you'll let them talk, they'll tell you what they need.
It has to be authentic too. It can't be just something, that this is the right thing to do, and everybody knows that it's about the customer, and it's like it can be covertly intended to say that's the way you make a lot of money. I don't put the attention on money. I put the attention on value, service, and if it's right, and if I've done my job, the money always follows. I've never worried about money. I mean that. Well, right. In the early days, I did when I decided to take on anybody. that was a mistake.
Absolutely, yeah. No, if you're delivering value and you're gaining clients, you're doing what you need to do. The money will follow.
And I say to people listening, go outside your comfort zone, man. If you're afraid of it, then you bet and want to tackle it. That's the surefire indicator that something is going to stop you, and you are experiencing that fear and doubt. What is it? What is it about that fear and doubt? Where's that coming from? And what are you doing with it? You attack it. You don't avoid it. You don't withdraw from it. You don't try to ignore it. You attack it. And the ways to do that. You do that by learning, getting the know-how of what you don't know, because fear comes from lack of know-how. And when you overcome that, man, you just injected some personal power into that confidence level, and now you're able to do it. That's what coaching is all about. You see, helping people do that.
Absolutely. And you talk about leadership skills that help your clients comfortably command any audience or group. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, if you're gonna, I'll give you an example of this. You know, the back in '83, Lee Iacocca, the CEO of Chrysler Corporation, borrowed money from the government. He felt bad about it. He was a good guy, and Chrysler was like needing to be bailed out. He was the very first major CEO of a major company to go on all networks and do a commercial asking the public to forgive him, to forgive him. He was apologizing. And he said, I promise you, I will build a better car. And he paid back that loan, and Chrysler rose to number one for a while. But that, what I would say in leadership, be vulnerable, be open, be honest. Not something you get today in leaders. There's always some kind of bias or stroking of a message to make it sound better. Get real with people. Leadership, communications is about reaching people with inspiration. It's not just numbers and stats. If I'm running a staff meeting, man, I want my staff to be inspired, motivated for, to achieve what I want them to comply with and targets. I want them excited. That's selling. That's selling ideas. You see, that's selling with the idea that you want people to have hope for a better future. That's what leadership's role is. You see, so when you're literally, if you're standing up in front of an audience, they're literally looking up to you. Okay.
Right.
And you don't have to have that. You're not somebody who's demanding that you have that, the arrogance of somebody needing to be well thought of, but you want people to feel that you are somebody that can take them there and you are a good example. You're setting a good example to unite people, to make them feel that there's trust there and that they're buying into what it is as a leader you want them to achieve. You're leading from the front, not the back.
Absolutely.
You're rolling your sleeves up and you're showing them that you can do it, and they're now doing it. And the product of a leader in their people are leaders, not followers. And that's how important communication is in leadership. You see, even in your sales, like if you're selling, you're leading your prospect. There's nothing in your company that you're not a leader of, because you're managing people, you're helping people and moving them to a better place.
Absolutely. I think you have to paint a picture of the future for your staff and for your clients. Here's where you can go. Here's where we can go as a company if we work together. And so I totally agree. That's so important. What would you say as a final word of advice for our friends out there who are listening or watching today?
Well, I would say read this book. I'm holding it up. It's No Fear Speaking. It's the #1 bestseller, and I have it published in 8 languages, and it has helped a lot of people around the world in many countries that I visited and done workshops on. This really is no filler. Learn how to communicate to groups. You're going to spend 45 minutes to an hour talking to 100 to 500 people. That's cost. That's time savings. You don't have to spend one-on-one, an hour one-on-one. You're spending it on a group of people, and they're far more excited and aroused, engaged, to want to know more. You see, and if it's somebody listening that feels they've got some lessons that they can help people with, then, a book is a presentation. We have all of our clients. I urge them to write books, and a lot of them have written those books and become I would say, #1 bestsellers, okay, on Amazon. And that's a great way to build your platform and reputation if you're trying to sell something.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
I really appreciate you coming on with me, Joe. What are the best ways to get in touch with you?
Well, we have an offer free. It's a free offer. There's always an irresistible offer at the end of these conversations. Isn't there, Andy? Okay. All right. But people can go to nofearspeaking.info and they can order the free book. It's free. It's a print book for free with bonuses. It's like $140 worth of materials for like maybe $8 or $9 for shipping. All you're paying for is the shipping. So I would say go to that, nofearspeaking.info. If you want to take a test, a speaker's test on prestigeleader.com, people can take a free test. It's a great test. It'll give them and reveal to them some of the strengths and challenges of their speaking skill. And then our office, our training specialist will jump back in and contact them to go over the test with them. So there's two things they can do: a free book offer and a free test to get their speaking skills evaluated at prestigeleader.com.
So you're doing what you're talking about. Lead with value and content.
Yeah.
And the money will follow. The clients will follow.
It's a trust factor, man. When you start working for money, it's the pits. Money is a indicator. It's a statistic. And what does it measure? How much confidence did you generate in people you're trying to attract? That's money. Think about that, you guys listening. Anybody listening to this, are you generating enough trust and confidence to have people want to pay you for something? And that's all you care about. If you've done that and you've outflowed that, you're going to inflow interest, because you're outflowing interest. You'll inflow it.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Joe, for coming on with me today. I appreciate all these nuggets that you've shared with our audience. I think it'll be really helpful. And so I really appreciate you coming on.
I'd like to ask your city to get Oklahoma City Thunder back in to playoff contention, okay?
I think they're working on it with a lot of trades coming up as well.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. I'm a basketball fan.
So absolutely. I think they're headed that way. We're in a rebuilding mode right now. So,
beautiful. All right.
They're headed that way. They've got a lot of good draft picks coming. So
nice.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Joe, for coming on with me. That's going to do it for this edition of Hot Topics in Sales. And we'll see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.